Howdy folks, Jennifer Lane here with Yellow Lane Designs. Today I have this cute mason jar project that we are going to do. It's actually a gift card holder. And I'll show you the inside here on another card that I've done. So using your envelope punch board, we create this little pouch to hold a gift card. I made this project about 6+ months ago in a couple classes that I had, and I was asked by some of those participants to make some videos of all the projects that we made in that class so they could duplicate these at home. So this is the third in the series. There were a total of 6 projects that we made with the envelope punch board, and this is project number 3. I'm going to change it up a little bit today. I'm going to use some different stamps, some more current stamps. Some of what we used was old Celebration, old stamps. So the background and the sentiment I'm going to change up a little bit with some current stamps that we have. So let's get started. First you need a piece of paper or cardstock. I used Wisteria Wonder is the color, and you're going to need to make 3 scores. The first is 4 1/4, then 5 1/2, and 6 3/4. And all the dimensions of the scores in the paper will be in the description box, so if you need to refer back to that, you can. Next, we'll bring in our envelope punch board, and we're going to be punching several punches today. I want you to look at this little word that says score line here, because we're going to be using that as a guide to make our mason jar. So what I'm doing is lining it up at the O. I don't know if you can, it's kind of not in focus, but the O and the N, and you're going to punch. And you are going to do that on all 4 sides. And as you see here, this is creating our mason jar. So next what we'll focus on is rounding the corners of our mason jar. So what you're going to do is fold over the first flap so your paper kind of looks like this. And this is the front of your mason jar, so we are going to round the corners. In your envelope punch board, you have a corner rounder at the top here. So just slide your paper in and you'll punch. Just remember you're going through 2 pieces of cardstock here, so it might be a little difficult, and then you're going to flip and do the other side. So now the front of our mason jar is rounded. Now we need to do the back, and so we're going to fold that same way that we did last time. You're going to place it in the corner rounder, punch, flip, punch again. Next we will move on to our front here, and you're just going to fold it. So your paper's going to look like this, and then we're going to put the paper in. What you're basically in this punch going to do is line up the very end of this bubble here. It's not quite the one, but you are going to punch. And like I said, this is difficult going through 2 pieces of paper, but I have a tripod and a bunch of stuff in my way, so that's why that particular one was so difficult. So when we're done, we now have a piece that looks like this. What we're going to have to do to create the little pouch is cut away this little section. So with your scissors, you're just going to cut away the middle piece to create a pouch like that. So next we'll move on to some stamping. I am using, for the flower, this beautiful flower cluster in Birthday Blossoms. Again, the ink I'm using is Wisteria Wonder. Let me just ink up my... I'm going to stamp here at the bottom first. And then I'll move on to other sections. Now just remember, we are going to be putting a sentiment in the middle, so it's not as necessary to stamp that. So I believe I'm done with my stamping. That's what I want, but you do it as much or as little as you wish. Next, we're going to move on to gluing. For this, we're going to use Tombow glue. You're just going on the very front of your card, so here's the piece I stamped. I am going to put a bead of glue right down the sides of just that middle piece. And then I'm going to push them together. Maybe count to 10 seconds or so to give it some time to grab on. And then we'll set this aside for a moment and move on to the other elements. Now, the sentiment that I am choosing is from the 10 of cards. I'm going to do Happy Birthday here. And I'm going to punch it out using the decorative label punch. So let me get my stamp all inked up. And we'll just punch that out with the decorative punch. Now, in the original card, I punched one in Wisteria Wonder, and I kind of used it on the side. So you cut it in half, and then you have to cut off these little tabs here. And then you can use some snail to kind of attach it to give it a border. Next, in Wisteria Wonder, I punched out an itty bitty butterfly and then put rhinestones in the middle. And then you can use half of a dimensional to attach him to the top here. And then next, for the top of the mason jar, I believe this is Going Gray. I cut two pieces. This is 2 3/4 by 3/4, and then I crimped both of them to give it that kind of mason jar feel. You could use foil, silver paper, gold. You can use different things, but I kind of liked the effect that I got with this paper. So we'll bring our card back in, and with this, we're just going to apply 2 Stampin' Dimensionals, if I can find some, to the back of this piece, and we're going to attach that to our card, just kind of in the middle. I did, with the Bird Builder punch, I punched out 2 of these leaves. This is Old Olive. Almost lost my second piece there. And I just kind of tear off these long stems. You can keep them if you'd like. It's totally up to you. I just simply put a little tiny bit of snail at the end, and that just allows you to attach it to whatever you need to. And I'm just attaching it to the back of, we pop this up so you can attach that right to the back. Next, you'll need to put snail or some kind of fast fuse or adhesive on here, and you are just going to center this onto your card. You will have some pieces on the ends, and that's okay because we're going to cut those off in a second. And just line up the sides from the back, and then you can just cut off those pieces that you see of the Wisteria Wonder. And there you basically have your card. Okay, we're at the basic end of our project here, and to top it off, to kind of keep it closed, because as you'll see, with time and really scoring the end here, it will stay closed, but I decided that it needed a little something, so I'm using some white baker's twine here. You need about 18 or 20 inches, and you're just going to wrap it around a couple times, and then you're going to tie a bow. Guess I'm having a difficult time tying a bow here. You probably need, my piece is about 18 inches, which seems a little bit too small to just maneuver. But there you have it. There is our card. As I said, I changed it up a little bit to use some different stamps that are a little bit more current, so you can take this card and redo it over and over again. Change up the colors, change up the stamps, and then you'll have a new card for those new people, or you can keep giving it to the same person over and over again. Wouldn't that be fun if you gave them the same card with a gift card? I hope you enjoy. If you need me, you can get a hold of me. Send me an email, jellolane71@gmail.com, or you can reach me on my Facebook page, Jello Lane Designs. I will, as I said, put all the dimensions and scoring and all the supplies that I used in the description box so you can refer back to that. I hope you enjoyed this project, and I hope you look forward to the next one. Thank you.